Oh, hey there. Hi, everybody. Benjamin here at Common Bond. Apologize for the delay. As you know, with technology, even if you make it work quite a few times, it might not work on a Sunday morning. And to be honest, I don't really want to work on Sunday morning either. But this is more fun, which is why we're here with Austin. If y'all can do me a favor, the one thing we're asking for people today is to take a picture of themselves, unless you're using your phone to do it, doing class today at some point, or have somebody take a picture of the screen and you in the background with a puppy and a kid. I don't know, maybe your plant babies, whatever works for you. Take the picture of you doing class, put it on Facebook or Instagram, and tag us at commonbondyoga. We're updating the YouTube channel. We're adding more stuff on our Patreon. If you can support us on Patreon, that's the best way to kind of keep this going, as it looks like we're in it for a little bit longer than we expected. But we're so happy you're out there. And yeah, enjoy class. Shoot us some comments. Tell people about it. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you all so much for tuning in as always. Yeah, it's crazy times and just having time on our mat, not only to connect with ourselves, but also kind of just like send some good vibes out there using our practice and really try to connect with other people or just around the world dealing with this craziness as well on our own mat. And today we're going to be doing a little bit of an extension of the practice I did, the mindful flow, earlier this week, and it's just going to be a little bit more flowy based and a little bit more challenging postures thrown in. So we're going to be doing a lot of work with some twists, some lower back stuff, and yeah, it'll be great. So we'll get started laying down today on your spine. If you have 2 blocks, that's great, or you could just use books or anything that can just help bring the mat a little bit closer to you at any point during the practice. Just making your way onto your spine when you're ready. Spreading out the arms beside you. You can also come into Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the feet together, knees fall out, and you can take those blocks or books underneath the knees. Just allow the hips to start to open, as we'll be working with them a lot today. Just coming to that space, that time on your mat. Taking that time to really tune in how you're doing this morning or wherever you're at in your day. Notice how the body feels in this moment. Where the mind might be drifting, whether or not there's still some worry in the mind, or you're thinking about what your day is going to look like, or a little bit restless. Just notice what's going on there. Just taking that time to really just tune in to everything that's going on here on your mat in this moment. Both the mental and physical self. Maybe you're able to notice any parts of the body that are particularly tight right here, right now. You notice anything going on in the hips, the lower back. Trying to tune in to your weight against the mat, those parts of the body that are pressing into the floor. Notice how the breath is flowing through the body. Not trying to change anything about it just yet, just notice. What this practice is always about is just noticing, being fully in this moment. Sometimes you'll drift away. You can always pull yourself back. Worries will inevitably draw you away into the past, into the future. We always can come back to this moment. Either you tuning into physical sensations to do so, maybe using the breath as a tool to come back to the present moment. Noticing how that breath moves through the body, how it moves the belly and the chest when you breathe. That expansion up towards the ceiling and that deflation back into the mat. When you're ready, starting to invite a couple of deep breaths into the belly, into the chest. No fancy way to do it. Just fill up as much as you possibly can. Notice how you feel after each breath, if the body relaxes with each exhale. A couple more breaths just like that. Trying to fill up the lungs as much as you can, reach that edge of your breath. Each inhale, allowing a more relaxing exhale. Maybe on your next inhale, once again, you fill up as much as you can, reach that edge, and then go a little bit past it as you take an extra sip of air in, and then exhale to release. 2 more breaths just like that. Fill up, reach that full expansion in the belly of the chest. Extra sip. Exhale, release. Inhale, fill up. Extra sip. Exhale out. Starting to find some movement in the body. If you took Supta Baddha Konasana, bringing the knees together, extending the legs out. You're rolling out the wrists, rolling out the feet, flexing, pointing the feet a couple of times. Or any other movement that feels good in this moment. You can also take an inhale to stretch the arms out behind you. Pull back as much as you can through the fingertips and forward through the toes. That nice entire body stretch. Take an inhale here. Exhale to curl in. Bring the knees towards the belly. Wrap the arms around the knees. Curl up into that little cocoon as much as you can. Maybe you rock side to side, massage the lower spine a couple of times. Give me that lower back, that nice massage. And you're ready, starting to set the feet back down into the mat, preparing for a couple of rounds of flowing bridge. Set the forearms into the mat, plant the hands. Take an inhale, exhale out. Next inhale, start to press your weight into the heels, start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Pull the knees towards each other so they don't fall out. Press through the inner arches of the feet. Exhale, slowly start to lower back down. Just take that flowing bridge 2 more times. Inhale to reach up, rise up, lift the hips up as high as you can get them. Exhale, set it down. 1 more round in that variation. Inhale, press up before you bridge. Hold for a round of breath. Take an inhale. And exhale carries you back down to the mat. Taking a different variation of that flow, picking up your right foot, crossing that ankle on top of the thigh, making that figure 4. Flex the right foot. Start to press the backs of the triceps into the arms, making those robot arms, fingertips pointing up. Press the right knee away, opening through the hip a little bit. Inhale, start to press into that left heel, lift the hips up. Lower down on your next exhale. 2 more rounds, just like from earlier. Inhale, press into the heels, lift up. Exhale, release. Last round on this side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lower. Inhale, extend that right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Flex the toes down, press the heel up. Feel that stretch in the back of the leg. Take an inhale. And exhale, bend the knees, set that foot down. Keeping the arms where they're at, robot arms, pick up the left foot. cross that ankle above the right thigh. Flex the left foot. Take that flowing movement once more. Inhale, press into the right heel, lift the hips up. Exhale, carries you down. 2 more rounds, follow your own breath, go at your own pace. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Last round, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, extend the left leg all the way up. Flex the foot, really try to press that bottom of the foot onto the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, set that foot down, bend the knee, lower down. Curl both knees back in towards the belly. Take a moment to rock side to side, curl in. Start to come back to center. Maybe start to curl the forehead towards the knees. Start to rock from front to back. Massaging the entire spine. Starting to gain some momentum with each rock. And eventually rolling up to seated once you've found enough momentum. Crossing the legs, rolling over the shins or sweeping them forward and back. Meeting in tabletop. Stacking shoulders above wrists, hips above knees. Spread nice and wide through the fingertips. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows out. Inhale, wrap them in towards each other, and then press back through the hands. Really trying to keep the biceps rotating forward and elbows towards each other. Start to find that cat-cow movement. Inhale, drop the belly, roll the gaze forward for cow. Exhale, press the mat away, arch through the spine, release the head, cat. 2 more rounds through that flowing cat-cow flow. Inhale, drop the belly, cow. Exhale, press it all the way, cat. 1 more round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cow. Staying in your cat pose, find that nice arch. Inhale in your cat. Exhale, keep that roundness in your spine as you lower hips to heels, almost like you're in your child's pose. Inhale, come back up to cat. Exhale, hips back. And 1 more time. Inhale, up, cat. Exhale, sing it back down. Hold here for a round of breath. Keep that round through the spine. Inhale to come up. Unarch the spine. Come back into your tabletop position. Start to bring your weight into your right hand. Inhale, start to sweep the left arm up towards the ceiling. Making sure you're not sinking your shoulders towards your ears, really pressing down through that right hand and reaching up through the left hand. Take an inhale. We exhale, pull the left shoulder back a little bit more, open through the chest. Take an inhale. And exhale, start to thread that needle, but not bringing that shoulder all the way down, more just as an exercise. Reach that arm all the way towards the side. Inhale, press into that right hand, reach the arm back up. 2 more rounds just like that. Exhale, reach the arm over towards the right. Inhale to lift. Exhale to reach. Last round. Inhale, rise. Exhale, set that left hand back down into the mat. Switch sides, weight into left hand. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Again, rooting down through that left hand, reaching up through the right. Take an inhale. You exhale, that right shoulder pulls back a little bit more. Allow the neck to release. Taking that core warm up, inhale. Exhale, come into that thread, that needle pose. Bring that right arm all the way towards the side. Inhale, press back into that left hand, reach the right arm. 2 more times, exhale, thread. Inhale, reach. Exhale, 1 more time, reach over. And inhale to extend back up. Exhale, set that hand back down. Maybe a round of cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, curl through the spine. Starting to meet back in tabletop, warming up the hips now. Start to bring all your weight into that left knee, maybe a blanket underneath that left knee if it's a little bit too much pressure. Weight into hands. Start to hover that right knee off the mat, flex the toes down. Hold here for a breath. Lower belly engages in. Next, inhale, start to open the right knee over towards the right, coming into fire hydrant. Exhale, close the knees down. Weird pose, but it opens up the hip, I promise. Inhale, open the knee up. Exhale, release. Your dogs at home may be wondering what you are doing. Inhale, reach. Hold for a round of breath. This time, inhale, slowly start to extend the leg out towards the side and set that foot down. Knees should be aligned with the arch of the right foot. Toes pointing forward. You can rock front to back a couple of times. Come back to center. Bring that weight into that left hand. Inhale, sweep the right arm up towards the sky. Remembering through practice, really root down through that planted hand and reach up through the extended arm so the shoulders don't sink towards the midline. Inhale. Exhale, set that hand down. You can bring that knee in, or you can also inhale, start to hover that foot off the mat. Slowly start to bring it back behind you as the hips square off towards the ground. And then exhale, set that knee down. Maybe you sway the hips side to side a couple of times just to reset the hips, the other thighs. Taking that to the opposite side, bring the weight into that right knee. Lower belly in. Inhale, start to hover that left knee off the mat. Flex the foot down. Hold here for a round of breath. When you're ready, inhale, come into fire hydrant. Open the knee up towards the side. Exhale, bring it in. 2 more times. Inhale, open it up. Exhale to midline. Holding on this next one. Inhale, extend it out. Hold for a round of breath. Inhale, start to extend that leg out towards the side. Set that foot down. Find knee to arch, toes reaching forward. Maybe that pulse from front to back a couple of times. Come to center when you're ready. Root down through that right hand. Inhale, reach that left arm up towards the ceiling. Hold for a round of breath. Release the neck, not trying to bring too much tension into that part of your body. Next, exhale carries that arm back down to the mat. Once again, you can just bring that knee in, or you can start to hover that left foot off the mat. Carry it back behind you, and then set it down. Once again, sway the hips side to side, give them a moment to reset. Maybe a round of cat-cow. When you're ready, start to tuck the toes. Spread nice and wide through those fingertips. Elbows draw in, biceps rotate forward. Lower belly in. Inhale, hover the knees off the mat. And then exhale, carry the hips up and back. First down dog of your practice. Maybe a nice deep bend in the knees, or you can pedal out your dog a couple of times. Checking where your weight is in your hands. Trying to root into the inside of the palms as much as you're pressing into the outside of the hands. One more round of breath here. Exhale, bend into the knees. Look forward towards the hands, come up high into the toes, and walk the feet forward to meet the hands. coming into ragdoll. Deep bend in the knees still. Torso drapes over the legs. Release the head, release the arms down. More weight into the toes. So gravity pulls you forward. Hands can come to elbows or shoulders. You can sway side to side. Pedal out the legs a little bit. Just take 2 more rounds of breath here. Release the hands down to the mat. Inhale, start to come into that halfway lift. Bring the hands underneath knees. Press into the shins. Lift the torso up parallel with the mat. Pull the crown of the head forward. Find length from all the way from the crown of the head to your lower back. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend back into the knees. Come into that forward fold. Inhale, come back into that halfway lift. Press your weight into your shins. Reach forward through the crown as much as you can. Weight more into the toes. Exhale, bend back down. One more time, just like that. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, out. Bring your weight back towards the heels. Allow the arms, head dangle, weight down. Inhale, slowly start to roll up vertebra by vertebra. Soften into the knees as you come up. Head and shoulders will be the last thing to rise. Maybe that nice shoulder roll at the top. Inhale the shoulders all the way up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back. Finding mountain pose. Rooting down into the feet. Kneecaps will lift. Pull the shoulder blades down and back towards each other. Maybe close the eyes, take a round of breath there. Next inhale carries the arms up towards the ceiling. Maybe bring the gaze up towards the hands, blink the eyes open, palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep back up, taking that one more time, palms meet. Exhale, release. Coming into a light twist. Inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, start to open the chest up to the right as the arms come to parallel with the mat. Here, really trying to press the right hip forward, left hip back as the torso twist over towards the side wall. Roll the shoulders down. Take a round of breath there. Inhale, sweep that right arm under and up. Reach back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, start to open up towards the left. Press that left forward, right hip back. Inhale, left arm sweeps down and up. Reach up towards the ceiling. Exhale, soften into the knees. Start to hinge forward, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees, plant the hands, step both feet back to your high plank. Walk the feet back and back and back until heels are stacked right above the toes. Press into the mat. Through the hands, find that slight arch in the upper back, like in your cat. Lower belly is in. Take an inhale. Exhale, drop to the knees, untuck the toes. Pause here for a round of breath. Lower belly is still in. Inhale, move the shoulders slightly past the wrists. Exhale, bend the elbows down, pull elbows towards the ribcage, lower chest and belly all the way down to the mat. Start to reach the arms towards the top of your mat. Come on to fingertips. Inhale, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Feel the kneecaps lift, maybe the thighs slightly lift off the mat. Exhale out. Next, inhale, press into the fingertips, lift the elbows off the mat. Maybe the chest slightly comes off the mat. Pull the crown of the head forward, looking slightly down, not directly forward. Inhale. Exhale, lower everything back down. Take that 2 more times. Inhale. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Press into the fingertips. Lift up. Exhale, release. 1 more round. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Pause for a breath. Bring the hands back underneath the chest. Squeeze elbows towards the ribcage. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips slightly off the mat. Inhale to press into the hands. Rise up to your tabletop. And exhale, lift the knees. Hips lift up and back. Downward dog. Take a round of breath here, revisiting this posture. See if anything has changed, whether you have more room, more length in the body. Exhale, bend into the knees, look forward. Inhale to step towards the top of your mat. Inhale for that halfway lift. Exhale to release. Weight into heels. Inhale, sweep the arms out and then up. Lower belly in, reach towards the ceiling, palms touch. Exhale, pull it through. Building on that flow. Inhale, scoop up, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, come back into that standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bend into the knees, bring the palms to the thighs, drop the hips back, coming into a version of your chair pose. Inhale, press the palms into the thighs to reach the heart up. Exhale, set the hips down a little lower. Find more weight into your heels and your toes. You should be able to pick up your toes and wiggle them around. Reach your heart towards the front of the room. Hold here for 1 more round of the breath. Inhale. And exhale to fold back down. Meet the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Step the right foot back. Drop the back knee, untuck the toes. Square the hips off, pull left hip back, right hip forward. Knee is stacked above ankle. Inhale, scoop the arms up towards the ceiling, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Roll the shoulders down and back. Take a round of breath here and into the hip flexor. If you ever want a deeper posture here, you can scoot that front foot a little bit more forward and then realign that knee back above ankle to get deeper into the hip. Inhale. Exhale, hands meet the mats. Press that right hip down into the mat or to a block or book. Inhale, sweep that left arm up towards the ceiling, open through the chest. Notice where your weight is in that left foot. Try to root down through the inside of the left foot. Pull that knee in towards the midline. Inhale. Exhale, set that left hand down. Tuck the right toes, lift the back knee. Step it to the front of your mat, standing forward full. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, meet the mat. Inhale for a pause. Exhale, bend into the knees. Plant the hands. Left foot steps back. Drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. Pull right hip back, left hip forward. Knee above ankle. Inhale to reach up. Roll shoulder discs down. Find space in between the ears and the shoulders. If you ever want to go deeper, walk that foot a little bit more forward and then realign to get deeper into the hip. Inhale. Exhale, hands meet the mats. Left hand to mat, block, book. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Press into the inside of that right foot. Knee pulls towards you. Inhale. Exhale, come back down to the mats. Tuck the left toes, lift the back knee. Step it forward again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower. Bend back into the knees, plant both hands, step both feet back, high plank. Inhale for a breath. Exhale, lower the knees down, untuck the toes. Inhale, shoulders slightly forward. Exhale, lower chest and belly down to the mat. Reach the arms forward again, come on to those fingertips. Inhale, press the tops of the feet, lift the kneecaps. Then press into the fingers, lift the chest up. Holding here for a couple of breaths. Pull the crown of the head forward. If you want, you can also start to hover the legs off the mat, pulling the toes towards the back of the room. 2 more rounds of breath. Next, exhale, lower down. Take a round of breath, allow the lower back to release. Hands back underneath chest. Elbows in towards the rib cage, tuck the toes, lift the hips. Next, inhale, press into the hands, lift up to your tabletop. Exhale, carry the knees up and hips back down, dog. Take a round of breath. Exhale, bend into the knees. Inhale, look forward, step, float, hop, teleport, doesn't matter. Meet at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Weight into heels. Exhale, bend the knees. Take palms to thighs. Inhale, press the thighs away, lift heart up, chair pose. Maybe exhale, lower the hips a little lower. Pause here for a round of breath. Next, inhale, press into the heels, lift up, straighten through the legs, palms down, reach up. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, take it to the left. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, hold for 3 breaths. More weight into the toes to tip you further into the posture. Maybe each exhale invites a little bit more length through the backs of the legs. Drop the head. Next, exhale, bend into the knees. Hands to thighs. Inhale, press up chair. Exhale, drop it back. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale to pause. Exhale, bend the knees. Step the right foot back. Drop it down, untuck the toes. Inhale, rise to your low lunge when you're ready. Exhale out. Inhale, fill up, reach up. Exhale, meet the mat. Right hand plants. Inhale, lift the left arm up. You also have the option here to tuck the back toes, lift the right knee up. Pause here for 1 more round of breath. Use your next exhale and come back down. Lift the back knee if it's not already and step it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale to pause. Exhale, bend down, plant the hands, left foot, take it back. Lower it down. Inhale for your low lunge. Exhale, release. Inhale to reach to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Plant the left down. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Again, you have the option, tuck the back toes, lift the left knee off the mat. 3 breaths here. Next, exhale to the lower. Lift the back knee up. Step it to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring it down. Hold for a round of breath. Exhale, bend into knees. Plant the hands. Step both feet back to your high plank. Inhale. Exhale, release the knees. Lower chest and belly down. This time, bringing the arms beside you, palms plant into the mat. Walk the fingertips back as much as you can. Hold here for a round of breath. Inhale, press into the tops of the feet. Maybe start to hover the legs off the mat. Then maybe the arms. And there, from maybe the chest starts to lift up. Pull the shoulder blades back, still reaching the crown of the head forward. Inhale. Exhale, lower. 2 more times to rise up into your locust pose, just like that. Inhale, lift legs, arms, then shoulders and chest. Exhale, release. One more time. Inhale, lift everything up. Exhale, bring it back down. Relax for a round in, a round out. Hands back underneath chest. Lift the hips, tuck the toes. Inhale, press through your tabletop. Exhale to take it back down, dog. Holding here for 5 breaths. You can also come to child's pose. Just slow it down for a moment. Reconnect with the breath, your body, your thoughts. Where's your mind at in this moment? Meet in your down dog as you're ready. Exhale, bend into the knees, look forward. Meet at the top of your mat, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, set the hips back. Hands to thighs. Inhale, press thighs away, lift the heart up. Maybe exhale, lower the hips down a little bit more towards the mat. Then start to bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, pull the heart towards the hands. Exhale, sink it back a little lower. Hold here for a round of breath. Inhale, press into the heels, reach up, rise up. Exhale, draw the hands down through heart center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, twist towards the right. Inhale to rise. Exhale to the left. Inhale to extend. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, melt back down. Bend into the knees. Hands to thighs. Set the hips down. Inhale to lift up. Hands to heart center. Next, inhale, pull the heart towards the hands. Look down, take an exhale out. Inhale. Exhale, take that left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Keeping the gaze towards the mat just to make sure the knees stay alignment. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull the right shoulder back. Then from there, maybe the gaze comes towards the side wall. Inhale, pull the chest towards the hands. Exhale, release. One more breath to hold. Inhale, start to twist back to center. Exhale to fold. Maybe wiggle the legs out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, sweep up, stand up tall. Palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands down. Start to find a point on the ground to focus on. Bring your weight over into your left foot. Pick up the right heel. Then start to pick up the knee, rooting down through that standing leg. You can take the right hand to the knee and just use it to help support it. Keep that left hand at heart center. Right foot is flexed. You can stay here. You can inhale, open that right knee out towards the side. Root even more through that left leg, as well as the inside of the left foot. You can stay here. You want to build a little bit more strength in that hip. You can release the right hand, keep that knee right where it's at to bring both hands to heart center. Hold here. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Inhale, knee back to center. Exhale, slowly start to extend it back behind you. Drop the toes. Lower the hands down for a runner's lunge. Start to walk your hands over towards the right-hand side of the wall. Toes will point towards the side of the mat as well. Wide-legged forward to fold. Weight into toes. Soften into the knees. Take an inhale. And exhale out. Bring the right hand underneath the gaze. Take the left hand to the lower back. Inhale. Exhale, start to pull the left shoulder back, open the chest towards the front of the mat. You can stay here. You can also lift the arm up towards the ceiling as well, if that feels good for the spine. Inhale. Exhale, bring that head back down. Walk the hands back towards the front of the mat. Bend back into that left knee onto the ball of the right toes and step it towards the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Almost coming down to the mat, our last flow on this side. Exhale, bend into the knees, set the hips down. Inhale, press into the thighs, reach up. Hands to heart center. Inhale, pull the heart towards the hands. We exhale, set the hips down a little lower. Inhale. And exhale, moving a little bit too quick there, Benjamin. Take the right shoulder to the outside of the left. Maybe keep your gaze down just to check out the knees. Keep them in line with each other. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull the left shoulder back even more. Then maybe the gaze comes towards the side of the room. Inhale, pull the chest to the hands. Hold for one more round of breath. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, fold. Wiggle it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, scoop up. Palms meet. Exhale, pull it through. Weight into your right foot this time. Find that focal point on the ground or the mat. Bring the weight into that right foot. Pick up the left heel. Then the left knee lifts. Flex the toes, the point up. Maybe left hand to knee to help support it. Right hand stays at heart center. You can also use an inhale. Use that left hand to carry the knee. Open it up to the side. Press through that standing right leg. You can stay here, or you can release that left hand. Keep that knee exactly where it is. Bring hands to heart center and hold. Inhale, knee back to the front of the room. Exhale, slowly start to extend it back behind you. Drop the toes. Bring the hands to the mat. Runner's lunge. Inhale, walk it all the way over towards the left side. Bring the toes along. Wide-legged forward fold. Pause here for a breath. More weight into the toes. Left hand comes underneath the gaze this time. Inhale, rise that right hand to the lower back first. Exhale, pull the shoulder back, open the chest towards the front. You can extend the arm up towards the ceiling that feels comfortable in the body, or just keep the hand down on the lower back. Inhale. And exhale, bring it back down to the ground. Pausing in that wide-legged forward fold, and you inhale. And exhale, start to drop the chest, lower the torso down, release the neck. Feel free to soften into the knees. Try to press into the insides of the feet. Close the eyes and just breathe. Maybe each exhale carries you a little bit more towards the mat. Inhale, press into the hands, lift up halfway. Exhale, walk it all the way forward, back to the top of your mat, back into that runner's lunge. Step it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Bring it to the mat, bend into the knees, plant the hands. Step it back. You haven't done any vinyasas, but if that's in your practice and you want to go for it, feel free. Or just drop to child's pose for a couple of breaths. One more breath wherever you're at. Inhale, start to come up to your tabletop. No fancy way, just lower to chest and belly. Coming into Sphinx, slide the forearms forward. Press into the palms, into the forearms. Stack shoulders right above elbow joints. Take an inhale, press even more into the forearms. Exhale, pull the heart in between the arms. Lower belly in to prevent dumping in the lower back. Round of the head is reaching forward as well. Gaze is slightly out in front of the fingertips, not directly down or directly forward. You can stay here. If you want a little bit of inner thigh action, you can start to open that right knee out towards the side. Bend 90 degrees into the knee. Flex the foot so the toes point towards the front of the room. Hold here for 5 breaths on this side. Feel free to close the eyes. Connect more deeply with the breath in the body. Switching sides with that leg, bring the right knee back in. Extending the left knee out, 90-degree bend. In that leg, flex the foot, the toes point forward. Breathe into that thigh, hip. Inhale, slowly start to extend that leg back out behind you. Exhale, lower chest back down to the mat. Make a pillow for the forehead, stack the hands on top of each other. Rest the forehead on the hands. Allow the lower back to relax here after being in that stretch for a little bit. Bring the hands underneath the chest. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, press into the hands, lift up to tabletop. Coming to pigeon from here. Tuck the left toes back behind you. Swing that right shin forward, then drop the knee, left knee. Walk that shin forward and forward until it's towards the top of the mat. You can take that book, place it underneath the right hip for a little extra support. The more stretch you want, the more parallel the shin will be at the top of the mat. The easier you want the pose or just less sensation, pull the heel a little bit closer towards that hip, left hip. When you're ready, just come into your sleeping pigeon. Start to lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Maybe stay up on forearms. You can take a book underneath the forehead. Or you can reach the arms all the way up to the top of your mat. Holding a little longer here in this pose. Really slowing down here. See what comes up for you. Just notice. No need to pass any judgment on anything that comes up. Positive things may arise, positive emotions. Difficult things may be arising up as well. Just allow whatever is there to be there. The more we try to push things away, the louder they get sometimes. So just give it space and it'll move on eventually. Five more breaths here. Slowly start to come out, first to the forearms, then to the hands. Walk that left knee in a little bit, tuck the toes, lift the knee, and just start to slide that right leg back. Come back into tabletop, shake the hips out, move any way that feels good, just to take a moment to hit that reset button. When you're ready, come on to second side. Extend that right foot back, tuck the toes, pull that left heel forward, drop the right knee back, slide that shin all the way forward until it's right underneath your chest. Extend that right leg back behind you. Find the position of your leg that you want. Shin parallel, edge of mat, or heel closer in towards the hip. Maybe that blocker book underneath the left hip for some extra support. Take an inhale. And exhale, meet in your sleeping pigeon, maybe forearms at first. And feel free to extend the arms. Bring the forehead in contact with something or block the mat. Close the eyes. Relax. Take this moment just to be. Slow the breath down even more here. Five more breaths. Slowly start to come out on your next inhale. Forearms, then hands. Walk that right knee in a little bit. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee in so you can slide that left leg back. Move the hips anyway. Set hips to heels, come into hero's pose for a moment. Lift the chest up, just a transition. Maybe close the eyes. Inhale, roll the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, roll them down and back. Take a deep inhale. Nice exhale. Drop the hips to the side. Swing the legs forward. Coming down to the mat, plant the soles of the feet into the ground. Wrap the arms around the knees at first. Inhale, pull the chest towards the thighs, nice and broad through the collarbone. Exhale, release. Slowly and slowly start to walk the feet closer and closer towards the hips, keeping the chest right where it is, till you balance on the tailbone. And then just gently allow yourself to tip back. Be mindful of anything that might be behind you. Release the feet into the mat. Maybe you rock the knees from side to side, just giving a little bit more lower back release for a moment. Just take a couple of moments or so for any last movements for your practice that feels good for the body. That moment of your own self-exploration. If Shavasana, final relaxation, is calling to you now, feel free to already meet there. And when you're all good to go, just relax the spine into the mat, spread out in all directions. Allow the arms to open up, palms can face down or up. Allow the feet to fall out towards the side. Allow the eyes to stay open at first, slightly heavy. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. 2 more times. Just like that, eyes get heavier with each round. Deep inhale. Exhale. Last round, inhale. Exhale. Allow the eyes to release, to relax. Feel your weight into the mat. Allow the lips to slightly part, the tongue to drift away from the roof of the mouth. Unclench the jaw if you're unintentionally bringing extra tension into the body in any area, fingers, feet, facial muscles. I invite you to stay here as long as you possibly can. Really just be here with your body, your breath, your thoughts. Just take a moment to send some compassion towards yourself, but just also towards other people in the world that may need it a little bit more than we may need it in this moment. Finding that balance between taking care of yourself and wishing the best for others. The light within me honors and respects the light within all of you out there. Namaste.